You cancel plans for her. You avoid disagreements to keep the peace. Yet somehow she seems less interested, less appreciative, and less respectful. Most men think being nice earns respect. It doesn't. Today, you'll learn the 5 boundaries that instantly change how women see you. These aren't games or tricks. These are standards that show self-respect. And when you respect yourself, others naturally respect you too. Stay until the end, because the final boundary is the one most men struggle with the most. People respect what has value, and value comes from having boundaries. Let's dive into the first one. Number 1, protect your time. Your time is your life. Every day you wake up with a limited number of hours, yet most men hand those hours away so easily that they never stop to calculate the true cost. And that cost is not measured in minutes, but in missed opportunities, delayed goals, weaker discipline, and a life that slowly drifts away from the vision they once had for themselves. Think about it. How many times have you pushed aside your workout, postponed your plans, ignored your responsibilities, or abandoned your priorities because someone else wanted your attention right now? How many times have you convinced yourself that it is only one day, only one evening, only one small sacrifice, only to realize weeks later that those small sacrifices have become a pattern? This is where many men lose respect without even knowing it. They believe they are showing devotion when in reality they are showing a lack of direction. A man who constantly abandons his own priorities teaches everyone around him that his mission can always wait. The difficult truth is that people tend to value what you value. If you treat your time like it is cheap, others will too. If you treat your schedule like it exists to serve everyone else, they will naturally expect access whenever they want it. But when you become serious about your time, something interesting happens. People start taking you seriously, not because you demand respect, but because your actions quietly communicate that your life matters. Imagine 2 different men. One instantly drops everything every time she calls, changes his plans at the last second, skips commitments, and spends his day waiting for responses. The other has goals written down, follows a schedule, keeps promises to himself, and remains focused even when distractions appear. Which man seems more grounded? Which man appears more trustworthy? Which man would you trust to lead himself through difficult circumstances? The answer is obvious. One man is controlled by whatever appears in front of him. The other controls himself. This is where true strength begins. Not in controlling other people, but in controlling your own attention. Many men spend years trying to get more respect from women while ignoring the simple fact that they are not respecting themselves. They say they want confidence, but confidence is built when you consistently do what you told yourself you would do. They say they want purpose, but purpose requires sacrifice. They say they want a better life, but every meaningful life is built one disciplined day at a time. Ask yourself a difficult question. If someone secretly followed you for the next 7 days, would they conclude that you are serious about your future? Would they see someone moving toward a meaningful destination, or someone constantly reacting to whatever demands his attention first? That question makes many men uncomfortable because it exposes the gap between intention and action. The solution is simple, but not easy. Start treating your calendar as a reflection of your values. Write down your goals. Break them into small daily actions. Schedule time to work on them. Protect those blocks of time like they matter, because they do. If your goal is to improve your finances, dedicate time each day to learning valuable skills. If your goal is to improve your body, train consistently whether you feel motivated or not. If your goal is to become wiser, spend time reading, thinking, and learning instead of endlessly consuming distractions. Most men underestimate how dramatically life changes when they begin keeping promises to themselves. 1 hour becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month becomes 1 year. Then one day they look back and realize they have become someone they barely recognize. While many people remain trapped in cycles of excuses, they have quietly built discipline, confidence, competence, and self-respect. Here is something else worth thinking about. Why do so many men become obsessed with getting attention? Because they have not built a life that excites them more than chasing approval. A man with meaningful goals does not need constant validation because his progress becomes his validation. His growth becomes his reward. His purpose becomes his focus. This does not mean he becomes cold or distant. It means he understands that the strongest relationships are built when two people bring value into each other's lives, rather than making each other responsible for their entire sense of worth. So start today. Take a piece of paper, write down where you want to be 1 year from now. Then break that vision into monthly goals, weekly actions, and daily habits. Remove activities that waste your time, reduce distractions, become intentional, because there is a lesson many men learn far too late. Lost money can be earned again. Lost opportunities can sometimes return. Lost time never comes back. And there is another insight connected to this that most men completely miss. One that explains why so many struggle to establish healthy boundaries in the first place, and it begins with a simple 2-letter word that changes everything. Number 2. Say no without guilt. One of the biggest signs of self-respect is the ability to say no. Yet for many men, those 2 letters feel heavier than carrying a mountain because they spend years training themselves to avoid disappointment, avoid conflict, avoid criticism, and avoid making anyone uncomfortable. And in doing so, they slowly become strangers to their own needs. They become experts at saying yes to everyone except themselves. They say yes when they are exhausted. They say yes when they disagree. They say yes when they feel pressured. They say yes because they fear losing approval. Then they wonder why they feel drained, overlooked, and frustrated. The reason is simple. Every unnecessary yes comes with a hidden cost. It costs energy. It costs time. It costs self-respect. Many men are trapped in a cycle where they believe being endlessly available makes them valuable, but value does not come from having no boundaries. Value comes from having standards. Think about the people you respect most. Are they constantly changing their decisions to please everyone around them? Or are they clear, calm, and firm about what they stand for? The strongest individuals understand something that many never learn. Every decision is a trade. Every yes automatically becomes a no to something else. If you say yes to endless distractions, you say no to progress. If you say yes to every demand on your time, you say no to your own goals. If you say yes to treatment that violates your standards, you say no to your dignity. This is why learning to say no is not selfish. It is necessary. Consider a common situation. She asks for your attention while you are in the middle of something important. Many men immediately drop everything because they fear appearing uncaring. But what message are they sending? They are teaching themselves that their priorities can always wait. Over time, this pattern expands into every area of life. Soon, they stop exercising consistently. They stop pursuing meaningful goals. They stop investing in their growth. They become reactive instead of intentional. Then they wonder where their confidence went. Confidence disappeared because they stopped trusting themselves. Trust in yourself is built through action. Every time you honor your values, you strengthen that trust. Every time you betray them, you weaken it. This is why emotional discipline matters so much. Emotional discipline means you do not make decisions based solely on immediate comfort. You make decisions based on long-term consequences. You understand that discomfort today can create strength tomorrow. You understand that saying no today can create freedom later. Ask yourself this: how many problems in your life exist because you agreed to something you never wanted in the first place? How much stress comes from obligations you accepted simply because you were afraid to disappoint someone? Those questions force honest reflection. Many men spend years blaming circumstances when the real issue is their inability to set limits. The good news is that this skill can be developed. Start small. When you genuinely cannot do something, say so respectfully. Do not create elaborate excuses. Do not over-explain. Do not spend 10 minutes defending a decision that requires 10 seconds. Speak clearly. Speak calmly. Then allow people to have whatever reaction they choose. This is where many men struggle. They believe they are responsible for managing everyone's emotions. They are not. You are responsible for your actions, your character, and your choices. Other people's reactions belong to them. Once you understand this, life becomes much simpler. You stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. You stop living according to fear. You stop seeking constant approval. Instead, you begin building something far more powerful: self-respect. And self-respect creates a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. It changes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you make decisions, and the way others perceive you. The fascinating part is that many people who initially resist your boundaries eventually respect them. Why? Because clear boundaries communicate clarity of character. They show that your values are real, not negotiable whenever pressure appears. They show that your actions align with your words. And in a world filled with inconsistency, that kind of integrity stands out immediately. But there is another boundary that determines whether people continue respecting you over the long term, and it has everything to do with what you choose to tolerate when someone crosses the line. Number 3, never tolerate disrespect. Respect starts with what you allow. This is one of the hardest truths many men ever face, because it forces them to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Many spend years asking why people keep crossing their boundaries, why they keep getting taken for granted, why their kindness seems to be ignored, and why they often leave conversations feeling frustrated and powerless. But the deeper question is this: what have you repeatedly allowed that taught others how to treat you? This question is uncomfortable because it shifts responsibility back into your hands. It asks you to examine every situation where someone spoke to you in a way that violated your standards, every time someone dismissed your needs, every time someone made promises and repeatedly failed to keep them, and every time you stayed quiet simply because you wanted to avoid tension. Many men think respect is something you demand. It is not. Respect is something you demonstrate through consistent standards. Imagine a man who constantly complains about being disrespected but never addresses it. He laughs off insults that bother him. He accepts treatment he knows is wrong. He stays in situations that drain his energy. Over time, he becomes resentful because he is expecting others to protect boundaries that he refuses to protect himself. Now imagine another man. He remains calm. He does not explode emotionally. He does not seek revenge. He simply makes it clear what he accepts and what he does not. When someone crosses a line, he addresses it directly. If the behavior continues, he creates distance. Which man appears stronger? The answer has nothing to do with physical strength. It has everything to do with self-respect. One of the greatest mistakes men make is believing they can negotiate their way into receiving respect. They believe if they are patient enough, understanding enough, accommodating enough, eventually people will appreciate them. Sometimes they do. Many times they do not. The reality is that people often respond more to what you enforce than what you request. This applies to friendships, family, work, and relationships. If she constantly cancels plans without consideration, if she only reaches out when she wants something, if she repeatedly ignores your standards while expecting hers to be honored, you cannot solve that by abandoning your standards even further. You solve it by remaining consistent. Emotional discipline becomes critical here. The strongest response is often not anger, it is clarity. It is the ability to step back and ask yourself a simple question. Does this situation align with the life I am trying to build? Many men stay trapped in unhealthy dynamics because they become attached to potential instead of reality. They keep hoping people will become someone different while ignoring who those people are showing themselves to be right now. This is where wisdom begins. It begins when you stop judging people by promises and start paying attention to patterns. Patterns tell the truth. Actions tell the truth. Consistency tells the truth. Start writing down your standards, not for other people, but for yourself. What behaviors will you no longer tolerate? What values matter most to you? What type of environment helps you grow? Once those standards are clear, commit to honoring them. The fascinating thing is that your confidence grows every single time you uphold your standards, because you prove to yourself that your values are real. And there is another boundary that determines whether your identity remains strong over the years or slowly disappears without you noticing. And if you're serious about raising your standards and building the kind of self-respect that changes every area of your life, the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men is linked in the comments, filled with timeless Stoic principles you can return to again and again for years to come. And it's now available in audiobook format, so you can absorb this life-changing knowledge while driving, training, jogging, working, or going about your day, knowing this wisdom will always be yours whenever you need guidance. And if you're ready to go even deeper, the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course for men is launching in the coming weeks to help you apply these principles step by step in your relationships and life. So comment Blueprint below for early access and take the first step toward becoming the man who no longer tolerates what weakens him and finally starts building the life he truly deserves. Number 4, keep your own life. One of the fastest ways to lose yourself is to slowly stop investing in the life you were building before someone entered it. This happens more often than many men realize. At first, everything seems harmless. You spend a little less time on your goals. You skip a workout here and there. You stop seeing certain friends as often. You delay personal projects. You tell yourself it is temporary. Then months pass. Sometimes years pass. One day you look around and realize the person you were becoming has been placed on hold. This is why maintaining your own life is not selfish. It is essential. A relationship should add to your life, not replace it. Yet many men unknowingly build their entire identity around another person. Their mood depends on her mood. Their confidence depends on her approval. Their happiness depends on her presence. This creates a dangerous situation because whenever your entire emotional world depends on one source, you give away a tremendous amount of power over your own life. Strong relationships are built when two individuals continue growing, learning, and pursuing meaningful goals. Think about the most inspiring people you know. They have passions, they have interests, they have purpose. Their world does not stop because someone enters it. In fact, their sense of purpose often becomes even stronger because they understand that growth never ends. Ask yourself this: what are you building right now? What goals excite you? What skills are you developing? What challenges are you actively working to overcome? If those questions are difficult to answer, that is where your attention should go. Many men become obsessed with finding the right relationship while neglecting the process of becoming the right person. They search for fulfillment externally while ignoring the internal work that creates lasting confidence. This is why personal development matters. Read more. Train your body. Improve your finances. Develop useful skills. Learn how to communicate effectively. Build a future that excites you, not because someone else demands it, but because your life deserves that level of investment. Consider a man who spends 1 hour every day improving himself. 1 hour reading, 1 hour exercising, 1 hour building a business, learning a skill, or pursuing a meaningful goal. Those hours seem small in isolation, yet over years they completely transform his trajectory. His confidence increases because competence increases. His options expand because his value expands. His sense of purpose deepens because his actions align with his vision. This is the path many men overlook because it lacks instant gratification. It requires patience. It requires consistency. It requires delayed rewards. Yet these are often the exact qualities that separate a life of regret from a life of fulfillment. Keep your friendships. Keep your hobbies. Keep your ambitions. Continue becoming the person you are capable of becoming. Because the next boundary may be the most difficult of all, and it requires a level of courage that very few people ever develop. Number 5. Be willing to walk away. This is the boundary that changes everything because it forces you to confront one of the deepest fears many men carry, the fear of loss. Fear causes people to accept situations they know are wrong. Fear causes them to lower standards they once promised themselves they would never lower. Fear causes them to stay where they are unhappy simply because uncertainty seems more frightening than familiarity. Yet one of the most powerful shifts in life happens when you realize that protecting your self-respect matters more than protecting your comfort. Being willing to walk away does not mean giving up easily. It does not mean avoiding commitment. It does not mean refusing to work through challenges. It means recognizing when a situation consistently moves you away from the person you want to become. Imagine a man who stays in a situation that repeatedly drains his energy, destroys his confidence, and distracts him from his purpose. Every day he tells himself things will improve. Every day he ignores warning signs. Every day he sacrifices a little more of himself. Eventually he wakes up and realizes the greatest loss was not the relationship, friendship, or opportunity he feared losing. The greatest loss was the version of himself he abandoned along the way. This is why courage matters. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting according to your values despite fear. Many men wait until they feel completely certain before making difficult decisions. That certainty rarely arrives. Growth often requires stepping forward without guarantees. Ask yourself a difficult question. If nothing changed over the next 5 years, would you be happy with where this path leads? That question cuts through excuses very quickly. It forces honesty. It forces accountability. It forces you to stop focusing on what could happen and start evaluating what is happening right now. The strongest men understand that peace is valuable. Their focus is not on controlling other people. Their focus is on controlling their own actions, thoughts, habits, and decisions. They understand that no amount of chasing can replace self-respect. No amount of approval can replace purpose. No amount of external validation can replace inner conviction. If you want to develop this boundary, start by strengthening your independence. Build a life you are proud of. Develop routines that support your growth. Create goals that pull you forward every day. Learn to enjoy your own company. Learn to trust yourself. Learn to make decisions based on principles rather than fear. Because once you reach that point, something remarkable happens. You stop making choices from desperation. You stop compromising your values for temporary comfort. You stop seeking permission to become the person you were meant to be. And that is where real freedom begins. Not when life becomes easy, but when your character becomes strong enough to handle whatever life places in front of you. If you're tired of giving away your power, and you're ready to build the discipline, self-respect, and inner strength that many men spend decades searching for, comment, "I choose discipline" below, like this video, and subscribe to help more men discover these truths before they lose years chasing approval instead of building themselves. The Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men is linked in the comments and is now available in audiobook format, so you can listen while walking, training, driving, or working. And while many voices profit from keeping men distracted, this book and my upcoming course, launching in just a few weeks and built from over 2,000 years of timeless Stoic principles, give you the tools to transform your life and relationships from the inside out, because knowledge means nothing until you decide to apply it.